The time is now 7 o'clock.
In this scorching, it's a seemingly unending heat wave, right? Many people are seeking respite in cool waters. And that is not hard to come by in our city of beaches. But recently, there has been this interesting competition, Haeundae versus Gwangalli. The city's top two beaches have been vying for the top spot, and municipalities have been accused of overcounting their visitors to claim this top spot. Of course, this increase in tourism and tourism revenue, it's good for the local economy. But we'll have to make sure that this whole top beach reputation actually leads to profits for local businesses rather than being just in name only. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Thursday, the 1st of August on befm, 부산영어방송. Good morning, everybody. Wavers out there, I hope you're all doing well. Yes, it is indeed the first day of August. Can you believe? Well, I don't know about you. Definitely feeling the heat. Yesterday was another scorcher, and I hope that you are keeping hydrated. Anyhow, there is this conventional wisdom here in Busan that real Busan people don't go to Haeundae or Gwangalli during summer vacation season. Do you think along those lines? I don't know, the family members, people in my family, we avoid Haeundae Beach at all costs during summer. We don't even go the main road on Dalmaji. We avoid it at all costs during this time of year because there are just so many people. We love people coming to our neighborhood. We just take the back roads. We do during this time of year. Maybe this doesn't apply to you, but it is a statement into how popular these two beaches are among tourists. And these two beaches have been engaged in a bit of this kind of like competition, tit for tat, as Gwangalli has become a hot spot among millennials and Gen Zers as of late. And how do we determine which beach had more visitors? And that is actually more complicated than you might think. The Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries has this guideline to count the number of visitors for a more unified system, as each municipality used its own system, which has created confusion in the past. However, this isn't enforced, and the ministry is letting beaches pick among unmanned counting machines, sampling, aerial photography, counting cars, and big data, which can yield vastly different results. This may be trivial, but, for the two beaches vying for, the accolades, the top spot, bragging rights, this is a very sensitive issue. As Gwangalli and Haeundae, they use different methods. Being the top dog, the top beach in Busan could attract even more people and resources. So this subtle competition may continue all summer long. Side note, of the two beaches, which do you prefer? That's just a side note. That's not the text topic. I'm very curious, though, as to which beach you prefer. All right, here's our real topic, though. Text topic for today, for this beautiful Thursday, first day of August. We are deep into the Olympics right now. What Olympic sport are you most interested in, or maybe you just want to try? Yesterday, just by chance, I was flipping through the channels. I forgot the exact official title of it, but it looked like BMX biking. I forgot the title of the sport, but it kind of looked like skateboarding, but on a bike. And I was like, whoa, they were doing like these aerial tricks. It was so amazing. And I was just like kind of mesmerized. We were watching like for a good 30 minutes, right? That was so amazing. But anyhow, if you know the name of the sport, let me know because I was just like so focused on the sport, I forgot to look at the name of the sport. 올림픽에 지금 계속 되고 있잖아요. 근데 손에 땀을 쥐게 하는 올림픽 종목 중 내가 관심 있는 그리고 도전해보고 싶은 종목은 It doesn't mean 내가 잘한다는 그런 뜻이 아니라 내가 도전해보고 싶은 종목은 뭘까요? So let me know through our BFM live stream live chat on YouTube. So what you do is go to that platform, search for BEFM or 부산영어방송. You do have to subscribe and log in and you can chat away with our other waivers. And while you're there, you know what to do, right? Click on the thumbs up or like button. Also, pound 9050. That's going to cost you 101. You can reach me for free on our KakaoTalk channel. Same thing there. You have to search for BEFM, 부산영어방송 as well. You can listen to us on the radio, 90.5, 103.3 FM. And for the YouTube channel, it's real time. You can watch at your leisure. Also, Patbang app, we're available there as well. Looking ahead to our Thursday morning together, we have Lydia with Beyond the Headlines, and then Hands on Vacation. So we have Stephanie stepping in today for City Insights for our special interview. Today, we are focusing on how AI is affecting climate change. Ooh, yes. So AI, it is affecting every part of our lives. But how can it affect climate change? Let's find out in hour number 2. And in the meantime, I will be back with today's headlines. It is now 7:07, and these are today's headlines. Major hospitals see few or no trainee doctor applicants. Applications for trainee doctors for the latter half of the year ended yesterday, with few to no doctors applying to fill the 7,645 spots. Malaria cases in South Korea expected to exceed 500 this year. The number of malaria cases has surged in the summer, with total cases on path to surpass 500 by the end of the year. Top Hamas political leader killed in Tehran as Iran vows avenge for killing. Hamas says its political chief Ismail Haniyeh was killed in an Israeli missile attack in Iran's capital, Tehran, with Hamas and Iran blaming Israel for the strike. Fed freezes key rate for 8th straight time. The U.S. Federal Reserve on Wednesday local time held its benchmark lending rate steady for an 8th consecutive time, but Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the committee is moving closer to a rate cut. South Korea wins third consecutive gold in men's saber fencing team. The team comprised of Oh Sang-uk, Gu Bun-gil, Park Sang-won, and Do Kyung-dong became only the second team ever to achieve this record in the event and the only team in Asia to do so. And these are today's headlines. We have Haley in the studio for Busan Updates. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, so let's talk about the Olympics. Which event would you want to try out? What sport?
I have zero coordination, but I mean we're just imagining things, right?
Yes.
Gymnastics.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, because Simone Biles moves like she has no bones or joint pain. She's
She's unreal.
She's unreal.
She is.
I mean, but yeah. By the way, I can't do like no somersault. I can't really do anything.
Cartwheel?
I can't do cartwheels. I can do somersaults. It's like 앞구르기. Yeah, I can't do cartwheels, but I would like to try gymnastics.
Oh, really? Can you do the
Because
splits?
no. Sorry. Oof. Yeah. No, even at my like peak flexibility age of like 7 or 8, when my mom put me in like taekwondo and ballet, couldn't do splits. Like, yeah, a little bit past 90 degrees. Oh, and when I was 23, after doing yoga for 4 months, I could finally touch my toes. Can't right now because I am no longer 23. But what's with the gas? There's so much judgment going on. I mean, I can do push-ups, I can lift weights, but like flexibility. And I think our PD just showed off by touching our toes.
We need a PD cam.
Yeah.
I
we
can't
really
even touch my toes. Really? Okay. All right, we're going to jump into our Busan updates. First, we're going to talk about the city's water quality. What's going on?
Unfortunately, it is summer. It was rain season that has ended, and this does not bode well for water quality. So for some mountain springs like Yaksuto and the streams, the little creeks, they did show higher than permitted levels of E. coli. That's 대장균. Yeah, that. And local governments have thankfully banned people from drinking from the streams and going in there for swimming.
Yes.
So the Nakdong River authorities said that 대천천 in Pukgu, the E. coli level at one point this month came to 1,600 bacteria counted per 100 milliliters of water, and that is triple the permitted levels. So the district says this is because of the heavy rain, which was also very frequent earlier this month, because that brings in pollutants into the stream, especially wastewater from the local farms. So swimming had been closed off on Daecheoncheon, but it is apparently back open after the latest test, which it did pass. And then for some Yaksuto, the little mountain springs in Haeundae, Namgu, and Saha districts, they also showed excessive E. coli levels, and the water has been too murky. So they have been closed off, and we definitely drink. Well, some people drink from that. So if you see a sign that says don't, because you really don't want to be drinking E. coli infested water.
Yes.
So experts actually advise people to not use these natural water sources for about 2 to 3 days after the rain because of the pollutants that are being carried in.
Good tip. Keep in mind. Yes. All right. Well, one urban stream with a reputation is Dongcheon, and the city is working to improve water quality there, right?
Right. So when you're walking in like Jingu in the Samin area and you kind of think, what's that smell? It's from here. So Dongcheon in Busan Jingu. It runs through Samyeon and it has a reputation for a stink, and it does have a nickname where they play off the Dong part and then say it in a stronger accent. I won't say that on air. Well, the reason, it is natural, and then it's also filled with wastewater. Number one, natural reasons. It is filled with sedimentary deposits. So things kind of pile up on the bottom of that stream. And then when it gets warmer with an increase in water temperatures, well, they decay. Basically, they rot. So there's that smell. There's a picture of it on our stream. It's usually not that blue. No offense, I work near that area. So what the city will try to do to make that blue consistently is to bring in clean water from the Seongjigok Creek, which for about 8 months out of the year, starting in October. So they're going to basically flood it with cleaner water. And then to get to the fundamental parts of it, to kind of separate the wastewater from the rainwater and clean spring water, they're going to inject over 2 billion won to enhance the stream and put up separation walls. So there would be the water should be separated, basically. And then the city will also put in these grit basins where you filter down the sand and the soil in the water so you can filter out the pollutants as well. So they're going very scientific to clean up that stream. So hopefully that'll significantly improve the stream's water quality.
Yes, and get rid of that
the stink.
The nickname. All right. Well, enough of water for now. But hey, for Hot Clip, we're going to talk about more water. Next up, Busan City is running its ever popular youth savings program.
Right. So this is the Busan Youth Double Joy Savings Program. It is taking its applicants from August 12th. So mark your calendars. So this program seeks to get young people get started financially, take their first step towards financial independence. So it can be a 2-year savings program or a 3-year savings program of your choosing. So if the subscriber saves 100,000 won, 10만 won per month, the city will actually match that amount.
Ooh.
So it's literally free money. Why wouldn't you? And you can get up to 7.2 million won at the end of that 3-year program. So it is a fairly competitive program because of it. And last year, the competition ratio was 4.6 to every spot available.
Oh, nice. So who qualifies?
And actually, it might be more competitive this year. So number one, age. It is youth. But good news in Busan City, youth is 18 through 39. So I could be youth. And you must be working. You must have a job. You must be working and living in Busan. But here's what's different because, of course, this has a median income level. It has an income criteria.
Yes.
But for the first time this year, it will not be counted based on your household income level because that could include your parents. And I mean, some people do get help from their parents, but some people don't. So it has been pointed out as being unfair if you're kind of living on your own financially, but still physically with your parents.
Sure.
So that whole thing. So the income level has been raised from 140% to 150% of the medium income level. And this can also cover self-employed persons, not just employees.
Okay.
So you can visit www.boogi, B-O-O-G-I, and the number 2.kr to apply between August 12th and the 28th.
Oh, it's going to be fierce, the competition. All right, lastly, for families with children looking to cool off, here are some public water parks.
Right, so if you're concerned about the mountain creeks and the water pollution, and I mean, they are crowded, here are some public parks with tested water. This is Busan's Children's Park. They're running their Kiduk Water Park. It's currently open from now until August 18th.
Okay.
And then the ever-popular The Floor fountains and the water playground at the Citizens Park and Songsangyeon Plaza or Songsangyeon Square, they're also in operation until the end of September. And really every district, basically nearly every district has these water playgrounds. So check with your local district or county office. And they all have safety personnel and the water is tested twice a month.
Yes.
And then also other events going on while you're at Citizens Park. Check out the lawn film screening that will go on from today until August 4th, as well as a film soundtrack concert. And then at the Pukkang Waterfront, North Port, there are film screenings and a photo exhibit going on there. And they are turning the parks from just a place of relaxation to cultural experiences as well.
Yes, sounds really, really nice. So kids can cool off, parents can kind of relax. Sounds really nice. All right, thank you for the updates. We'll check in with you real soon. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
Back to you, the listeners. I know you guys are really busy and you love each other, saying hello to each other. For our text topic, though, we are talking about which Olympic sport you would want to partake in. And you don't have to be talented in sports. It's okay. So that is our text topic. For your traffic, here is what's going out on the roads right now. It is now 7:17 on this Thursday morning. Here is your traffic report for right now. It's looking pretty nice on the roads right now. There is some congestion on Luno Samsungdaero from the Myeongji underpass to Shinho Bridge right now, and a little bit of congestion on Dongso overpass from Bomnekgo ramp to the old Daegum toll gate. As for the weather, it's currently 28 degrees Celsius under sunny skies under another heat wave advisory. The daytime high will go up to 34 degrees Celsius, but the discomfort index is high as there is relatively high humidity. Sizzling heat is coming down across the entire country with light rain in parts of Chungnam, Chungbuk, and eastern Gangwon. So once again, you need to stay hydrated and avoid going outside during the hottest hours of the day. This was your traffic and weather.
Are you an early bird? Are you up to date on the news? Are you a trendsetter? For all of the biggest issues from Busan to the world and useful information you need, right here on Morning Wave in Busan.
It It is now time for News Digest. And so Haley and I, we're going to be covering the big news. First of all, the whole Timon WeMap debacle. It is continuing with further revelations of abnormal business practices, right?
Right. So previously we've discussed that how after Q10 acquired Timon and WeMap, Q10 absorbed the company's financial divisions and only left them with sales and marketing departments.
Right.
And now there are reports, that say Q10 apparently used funds from these subsidiaries in disregard of internal rules and really normal business practices. So what happened, according to reports, is that Q10 Group borrowed 20 billion won from Timon to buy a U.S. e-commerce firm, Wish. However, the approval process was quite odd because the money went out. It was physically withdrawn from the Timon accounts to Q10 on April 10th. April 11th. Remember that. But Timon CEO Ryu Kwang-jin signed off on the transaction on the 15th. So retroactively, 4 days after the money actually left his accounts.
So money went out first and then he signed off.
4 days later, even that. So the same thing happened in January, apparently. This time, amount was slightly smaller at 5 billion won. And that signature came 19 days after the money was withdrawn. So chances are that Q10 did not discuss these loans, and I say that in air quotes, with Timon CEO, or the CEO had no idea, which is pretty much what Ryu told the parliamentary panel this past Tuesday.
And this seems to be even growing, expanding to other Q10 subsidiaries.
Right. So Q10 owns 60,000 companies. And in Korea, Interpark Commerce and AK Mall. And even Q10 CEO Gu Young-bae admitted to there being a possibility. And that was once again during the parliamentary emergency session. And the thing is, he had initially denied there being a possibility of issues with the other subsidiaries. However, when asked again by lawmaker Kim Nam-gun, he then kind of backtracked and said, yes, there is a possibility of financial or funding issues there. And then as to what could happen, well, the Financial Supervisory Services, the FSS, said it's hard to give notice to customers on specific companies over potential problems because, well, that might throw the market into a panic. So in terms of market management, they will seek for other ways to regulate the companies directly before really putting that out in the open.
Well, in the meantime, Timon and WeMap, they have filed for court receivership, and the hearing, it is coming up soon, right?
Right. So the two firms have filed for what's called the Autonomous Restricting Support Program, or ARS, and the bankruptcy court will summon the CEOs of the two groups on Friday, so that's tomorrow, to question their plans for funding and what will happen from now on. And that questioning will be done behind closed doors. But what this ARS system is, the company and the creditors will autonomously, so they'll voluntarily look for solutions among themselves and then present that to the court before the court decides to whether to accept the corporate rehabilitation request. So after the request comes in, the court legally has 1 month to decide whether it's going to launch that rehabilitation process or not. But if the court deems that the company has not faithfully carried out the process or this proposal doesn't suit the interests of the creditors, then the court may turn down the request. And once that happens, that means bankruptcy.
Which is, of course, not good.
Right.
For all parties involved. So this is a story we're going to have to continue to follow, but thank you for the updates on this. All right, next, President Yoon Suk-yeol appointed former journalist Lee Jin-suk as the KCC chief, correct?
Right, so that came rather suddenly yesterday, although it was slightly expected because President Yoon Suk-yeol had requested the parliament to send the confirmation report for the second time for the Korea Communications Commission chief nominee, Lee Jin-suk, but he only gave the parliament 1 day to do this. So the expectation was that he was going to push on with the appointment regardless of a confirmation report, which is what he did yesterday.
Right.
So Lee yesterday morning went straight to work at the Gwacheon government complex and had her appointment ceremony. And just hours later, in this sweeping decision, the KCC appointed 6 new directors to an oversight body for MBC and appointed 7 directors to KBS. And the KBS directors are due for presidential appointments. And these all new nominees or appointees are recommended by the ruling People Power Party.
Yes.
So the Democratic Party has, in response, proposed a motion to impeach Lee Jin-suk. So that would kind of continue this series of impeached KCC chiefs if that were to go through the DP-controlled parliament.
Indeed, indeed. All right. For our last story, we're going to go to the U.S. presidential election where Kamala Harris, she is closing the gap with Donald Trump very fast.
Right. So it's been, a little over a week since, Biden officially resigned and the Harris campaign launched. And initial momentum, the convention effect, is strong. So as you said, she has not only closed the gap, but she's slightly pulling ahead within the margin of error, though.
Okay.
But it is neck and neck. So according to a poll by Bloomberg and Morning Consultant, voters in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. These are all major swing states. They were surveyed between July 24th and 28th. If the election were held today, who would you vote for? Well, that showed Harris with a 1-point lead, beating Trump 48 to 47%. But once again, the poll had a 1% margin of error, so it is right in that tiny margin of error.
Right.
But still, so this shows that if the election were held today, the results would be a very big toss-up in critical battleground states.
So the big question is this, though. Was it worth it for Joe Biden to step down for the candidacy and endorse Harris?
At least at this point, yes. Because going to a different poll that was taken at the beginning of July, this is, by the way, when Biden was the presumptive Democratic nominee.
Yes.
And when the health issues were still very much raging. The poll showed that Biden was actually behind Trump by 2 points on average across 7 major battleground states.
Okay.
So that, if we're going to take in that 1-point lead at face value, that's a 3-point increase. So
Sure.
it's not insignificant.
Right.
And experts pointed out, and on our program as well, there's a lot of identity politicking going on because Harris obviously is a woman of color, Black and of Southwestern Asian descent. So, of course, Black voters and Southwestern Asian voters have been quite enthusiastic to see representation in
Sure.
Harris. And then also, in a fun little, not so little campaign event, voters launched a, quote, White Dudes for Harris campaign over Zoom. And this is an online rally that raised over $4 million from over 190,000 participants. So the fundraiser included contenders for Harris's running mate, who are majority colloquially white dudes, to kind of balance that ticket.
Yes.
But as well as actors Jeff Bridges and Mark Hamill, who spoke directly to other fellow white men about the need to organize and support Harris and this important role that they can play in getting other white men to, quote, turn their backs on the dangerous, dark path that Donald Trump is trying to march them down on. So definitely, once again, identity politics going on. And also, lastly, another thing of interest, are we going to see a debate between Harris and Trump and Harris? Well, interestingly, Trump has said before Harris was the presumptive nominee that whoever it is, Harris or Biden, whomever, he will debate them. But once Harris became the presumptive nominee, he has not said that at all. So Harris has challenged Trump to a debate, saying in a rally, quote, if you have something to say it to my face.
Oh, that will be interesting. And we'll see if there actually will be a debate before the November election. Well, we'll follow that story, of course. Big story. Thank you for all the news. And we'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
We are due for our first song break for hour number 1. So here it is. This is a song, I believe somebody requested it. So here we go. This is Run by One Republic.
All I did was run. Staring at the lights, they look so pretty. Mama said, son, you're gonna grow up, you're gonna get old. All that glitter don't turn to gold. But until then, just have your fun. Boy, run. Yeah, run. Run. When I was a do is pay, 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 pay. And every single dime back, good Lord, give me. I can make it last 3, 4, 5 days. Living it up, but living down low. Chasing that luck before I get old. And looking back, oh, we had some fun. Boy, run, 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 run. They tell you that the sky might fall. They'll say that you might lose it all. So I run until I hit that wall. Yeah, I learned my lesson, count my blessings up to the rising sun. And run, run, run. Yeah, one day, well, the sky might fall. Yeah, one day I could lose it all. So I run until I hit that wall. If I learn one lesson, count your blessings up to the rising sun. And run, run, run. Run, run, run. Didn't get everything that I wanted, but I got what I need, yeah, yeah. I see that light in the morning, shining down on me. So take me up high, take me down low, bear it all and somebody knows. But until then, let's have some fun, yeah. Run, 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 run. They tell you that the sky might fall. They'll say that you might lose it all. So I run until I hit that wall. Yeah, I learned my lesson, count my blessings up to the rising sun. And run, run, run. Yeah, one day, well, the sky might fall. Yeah, one day I could lose it all. So I run until I hit that wall. If I learn one lesson, count your blessings up to the rising sun. And run, run, run. Run, run, run. Yeah, run, run, run. Yeah, I learned my lesson, count my blessings up to the rising sun. Yeah, I learned my lesson, count my blessings up to the rising sun. Yeah, if I learn one lesson, count your blessings up to the rising sun. Yeah, run, run, run.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking about Busan's beaches. Oh, and there's so many of them. 7 major ones. They're all beautiful, right? Well, the approximate, first day of, what is this? The first day of August today. Sorry. Many of you I know are on vacation right now. We're going to look at some of the big data regarding the local beaches. According to BTO, the Busan Tourism Organization, over 6.1 million people went to Haeundae last year. Haeundae Beach. About 5.5 million went to Gwangalli, and 4.3 million went to Songjeong, making these the city's top 3 beaches. Interestingly, there was a flip in these numbers, the 2 and 3 for foreign visitors, with Songjeong being the second most popular destination. But Gwangalli was definitely more popular among the younger crowd in their 20s, which comprised 46% of all visitors going to Gwangan. Haeundae had a fairly even distribution across all age groups, but Songdo, on the other hand, had the highest ratio of those 60 and older. Ooh, very interesting. So does this go in line with your beach preference? Have you gone swimming this summer? And if you have, or maybe not swimming, but have you gone to any of the beaches here in Busan? If so, where have you gone to? Tell me about your beach, preferences, beach experiences. Which beach do you enjoy going to here in Busan? And I have stopped going to the beaches here in Busan. The last time I went, I met one of my college students. It was the most embarrassing experience, and I'll never go again. Yeah, I went to Songjeong right literally as I was no makeup, and I was taking. Well, I was wearing a swimsuit. I was taking off my clothes, and then somebody said to me, "Oh, 교수님." And we literally were so embarrassed. So I got back in my car and drove home. That was the last time. I said never again. So looking at some of your responses to our text topic, we're talking about Olympics. What Olympic sport are you most interested in or would you like to try? So Olympic 계속 지금 너무 너무 재밌잖아요. 근데 내가 관심 있는 그리고 도전해보고 싶은 종목은 뭘까요? Let's see. 태진 웨이버 says 올림픽은 육상 100m 제일 좋아합니다. 뭔가 근데 올림픽 경기 중에서 가장 본능적이고 시원시원하게 10초 안에 딱 끝나서 좋아요. 본인이 10초 안에 들어오는 건 아니죠? 아니래요. 우리 PD님이 절대로 아니에요. Leslie says this. I would choose swimming for the summer games and figure skating for the winter games. While I love gymnastics, I'm a bit of a klutz. The water seems a safer bet. By the way, klutz means like clumsy, just to give you a better definition. And just one more for now. 고수 says this. 저는 양궁 도전해보고 싶어요. 스스로를 컨트롤하고 집중해서 활 쏘는 게 도전해보고 싶게 만드네요. So he wants to try archery, that's self-control. I love that idea. I think archery is like such a precision sport. I think it's amazing. Anyhow, I'll read more of your messages. This is your hot clip for now. Today's hot clip, related to the Olympics, the Seine River. I've been covering this. Well, the quality level of the water, not good again. This is a clip from CBS News.
It's one of the big stories of these games. Is the Seine River clean enough to swim in? Cancelled these past few days, pollution levels were low enough, allowing triathlon athletes, men and women, to dive in the water today. Here are some reactions from spectators.
It's a bit strange, and I'm not sure how clean it really is for the athletes today. So I'm a bit surprised they're holding it. Actually, I mean it's lovely for us that we get to see it, but it's a bit odd.
I watched them with my binoculars. It's wonderful that it's being held among Paris's monuments, beyond the controversy over the water.
People is going to be really happy to see all these people swimming and riding the bikes and running all over the place.
Would you like to one day swim in the Seine?
Yeah, maybe. I also practice triathlon, so I think it's really, really nice.
Huge relief, of course, for organisers and for Mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo. She wants swimming in the Seine to be one of the big legacies of these games. In the meantime, more tests will need to be conducted to check the levels of pollution, with swimming in open waters taking place next week.
So the thing is, they just tested the water and the events have gone on. However, the athletes have had mixed reviews. For example, South Africa's Jamie Riddle, well, they've said, I definitely am going to visit the bathroom later. I swallowed gallons and gallons of water. So that's going to be a fun post-race party. That's a direct quote after the men's swim. So the athletes are not happy about the quality of the River Seine. And this was your hot clip for today.
Stay tuned. You're listening to Morning Wave in Busan.
It's time to check in with Lydia for Beyond the Headlines. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm loving this heat.
Oh,
this
you are?
morning. Yes.
Really? How about the humidity?
Oh, is it really humid right now? I can't really tell. I feel like it was so humid. I'm like loving what's going on right now way more than what was going on before.
Okay.
You don't agree?
I don't know. I'm more of a I can handle dry desert heat, but just the humidity gets me every summer here.
Every summer.
Yes, and so lots of people commenting on the River Seine Umberto calling it doo-doo water. That's a nice way. I like your vocabulary. Umberto. Leslie saying hard pass. Absolutely not. I agree with you. I would not go in that water. I would, as they say, you go into the water and you come out with something growing like a tail.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. Text topic, though. If you could choose an Olympic sport or event that you would you're most interested in or that you want to try out, what would it be?
I would have to say...
Yes.
If I'm guaranteed to be really good at it.
Oh, really?
It would be...
Or just for fun.
Just for fun. I don't know. Archery, maybe, too.
Archery? That's that popular one. A lot of people are saying.
Yeah, because that's what today's topic is about.
Oh, really?
No, but it's... archery just looks really... That laugh was really, really beautiful. Okay. Yeah, archery just seems very elegant, and or fencing would be fun. I don't know if everybody else saw this too, but women's shooting.
Oh, that's so
apparently one of the players was wearing this really cool outfit and her facial expression, everything. She got really famous online.
There's memes of her everywhere,
and she looks so badass. She's this main character energy.
So cool.
Yes. So yeah, that or archery. Yeah, but you guys are watching the Olympics, right? I totally am. I'm at the gym and it's the only thing that I'm watching on TV.
Absolutely.
And yeah, today's topic is about the electrifying world of Olympic archery, where every shot counts and every heartbeat matters. Since their Olympic debut in 1984 and over the past 3 decades, South Korean archers have consistently dominated the podium. They've sort of become a powerhouse in the world of archery.
I'm so amazed by them. And I think the rest of the world is also because everywhere on the internet and on social media, all these sites, they are just so amazed. Everybody's mentioning, since, way back then, it's this powerhouse, right?
Yeah, since 1988.
Sure.
Seoul, they've won every team title since
That's
then.
Amazing,
So
though.
Seoul, 88, Barcelona, Atlanta, Sydney, Athens, Beijing, London, Rio, Tokyo, and Paris.
Wow.
A 10th Olympic title. They've remained undefeated.
For the women.
Yes, for the women. But, with that representing archery for Korea at Olympics isn't for the faint of heart.
It's not. It's the dream team. It's like men's USA basketball.
It's the
except for 1 year
sport.
they lost. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they've set this gold standard, and expectations for them are on a whole different level than any other sport. Anything less than a gold medal is considered, sadly, a failure at this point, and none more so than in women's team event where Korea has literally never lost.
And when you think about that, the expectations are so high, but I can't imagine the pressure, the weight of the world literally on your shoulders and the weight of the country, so 부담, too much.
People are saying, people who pay attention to sport especially are saying that, their pursuit is less about trying to win another gold medal, but more about trying to avoid becoming the first ones to fail.
Yes.
This week, Korea defeated China 5-4 in a thrilling shoot-off in the gold medal match at Les Invalides. You could see that all 3 archers were overcome with emotion afterward. You can just see how much pressure had weighted sort of on them.
Right. And I think it's really difficult to just make it onto Team Korea.
Yes.
Because it's so deep, the talent in our country to get onto the archery team itself.
Can't even imagine.
It's so difficult because they're so talented, right? And so let's look at this this post. Let's read it for our listeners because it's on X, formerly known as Twitter. So can you read it for us?
Yes. Russell Beatty said, Olympic archery is an amazing event where every 4 years a bunch of countries gather together to hang out, shoot arrows, and give to Koreans their gold medals. It's a nice tradition. Thumbs up.
I love it. It's just a formality.
Yes.
Here are your gold medals.
Right. I mean, aren't you like also curious how, like, what is the method? Like, it's harder than getting into Shaolei. It's like, what is the 비법, right?
Yeah, what is it?
I mean, the success of the Korean women's archery team is largely attributed to, not only from the dedication of the players, athletes, coaches, but also from strong external support.
Okay.
Team is known for their rigorous training regimen.
Yes.
With archers typically shooting around 400 arrows a day.
Wow.
6 days a week, often continuing their practice on Sundays. In the past, their confidence-building exercises have been sort of like unconventional, like walking through cemeteries at night or placing snakes inside their clothes. And in preparation for the Paris Olympics, the team also practiced very intensively, even on the eve of the competition.
Right.
And last month, team conducted specialized training in strong wind conditions near Namhangang, which is chosen for how similar the wind patterns are around the Seine River.
Yes.
Near the Invalidate venue where they had the game. They meticulously recreated the competition environment at their training center, along with French language announcements.
I love that.
Simulated crowd noises to ensure the athletes were well prepared for the actual event.
They are so well prepped, and it showed. But isn't their success also like closely tied to a long time sponsorship?
Right. Another huge factor that contributed to the sport's success is an ongoing support from this company that starts with an H. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
H Motor.
H Motor.
Yes, it is news. It's well known, right?
For the past 40 years. Initially led by Honorary Chairman Chung Mong-gu, now by Chairman Chung Hee-sun, the sponsorship is the longest running for any single sport in Korea. Their contributions include advanced training facilities, personal training robots.
Yes.
Right? Even multiple angle cameras for posture correction. The support has significantly enhanced the athlete's performance. And ahead of the competition, they rented a sports club about 10 kilometers away from the venue so the athletes could practice.
Right.
They've also provided Korean food through selecting catering services for, the best of their physical and mental well-being.
And by the way, if you're on our YouTube channel, what you're seeing right now is the actual distance. I know it's hard to kind of visualize. This is what the athletes see. This is the actual distance. Like, how in the world do you hit that target? I can barely. My eyesight's pretty good.
What am I even looking at?
What am I looking at?
I see white boxes.
I see the red. I see the magenta. I see a target. I see
trees.
Okay, I see trees. I see sky. I see magenta. I do see circles. And obviously, some circles. I can barely make out, like, there is yellow. We know, like, it's yellow somewhere.
70 meters away.
That is...
Do you know how? They use robots, the training robot. Apparently, that's like a huge help. It's this 200 kilogram hefty robot that has features like suspension technology, allowing super precise aiming targets 70 meters away.
70 meters.
It has like sensors to measure wind direction, speed, all that stuff. Apparently, initially, the shooting robot was designed to find defective arrows. And the purpose was for athletes to not have to go through these like arrows and find like the bad ones. But since then, robot has sort of evolved as this training partner because apparently it scores near perfect tens pretty much every time. In the interview, one of the athletes said that no one on the national team could ever beat it. Not once. But yeah, the robot helps providing valuable insights and it help our athletes develop their skills even more.
Yes. So what else can you tell us about the training regimen for the archers?
I mean, we're just like so fascinated with like their excellence.
Yes.
We just want to know like what it takes to get there, right? So for outdoor training, multi-camera system is used. So, this H Motors has cars, when you're changing your lanes or backing up, there's like a camera in the car. They're using that same system to sort of monitor our athletes and see how their posture is, like how consistent they are. They use things like heart rate monitor, and they started using that since the Tokyo Olympics. They measure the heart rate of the athletes without direct sensors because apparently understanding and controlling physiological responses to stress of athletes is super crucial, especially for archers, because apparently when you're stressed, your body temperature and your heart rate goes up.
Yes.
And apparently during the team finals, for the female finals, South Korean athletes maintain a steady heart rate around 70 to 80 BPM.
Right.
Which is like when we're pretty much just like chilling.
And to me, while I was watching, I was thinking
were like 120. Yeah, but apparently their Chinese counterparts often exceeded over 100 BPM during the same game,
right?
Which can be a very decisive factor, a lot of people are saying, in determining the outcome of the competition. So they're using all of these amazing, cool technologies to ensure the excellency of our athletes and, make sure they get all the gold medals. And, this company, the owner responded that after they won, he is very proud of them. Apparently, he is referred to as a quote unquote victory fairy because if he shows up to the game, they are guaranteed to win. But I think that's kind of like being a cop out because they win anyways. I'm like, okay.
Does he come to every single match?
Apparently. But he said that in an interview that they are going to continue to support the team to make sure, their skills are better. Yes. Which is really cool. I mean, you get sort of this special treatment.
Right. One thing I did notice though, a lot of the other foreign countries head coaches are Korean coaches now.
Really?
That because the level of Korean archery is so top notch that even the coaches they're sought after. And
I see.
Yeah. So it made me proud and happy and sad at the same time because I was just like, it's good that the Korean the knowledge and the technology is sought after. At the same time, I feel like but it's being shared with the rest of the world, and that means the difference between the Korean athletes and the athletes of the rest of the world, it's becoming more narrow.
No, I feel like at the same time,
but it's so competitive.
I think it's the Koreans that are really good.
Right.
I think it's the the Korean talent. That is the Korean.
It's making me nervous. Anyhow, but
sharing is love.
Sharing is love?
Yeah, sharing is love.
All right, I'll try to think of it that way. Anyhow, well, thank you so much for explaining archery in depth and getting a real little a bird's eye view of what it was like.
But question though, now after knowing all this information, our listeners, what is the one sport that you
I don't want to do archery. After all that? 400 arrows a day?
I'm competing against a robot every day.
Right. I don't know.
That's sounds tough. Difficult.
Yeah. I'll leave it to, the archers, the Korean archers. Well, we will definitely check in with you next week. So thank you and have a wonderful weekend.
All right. See you next week.
Everybody, this was Lydia. And we have much more coming up in hour number 2, including our special interview. We're going to end it with this one, Fight Song by Rachel Platten. Enjoy. I'll be back at 8.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep. Say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years, I miss my home, but there's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream, I'm loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. A lot of fight left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong.
Your bridge to the world. befm 부산영어방송.
부산의 축제 어디까지 즐겨보셨나요? 과거와 현재, 미래가 공존하는 항구도시 부산. 이곳 부산은 계절을 물들이는 다양한 축제로 늘 풍성합니다. 봄의 시작을 알리는 봄꽃 축제부터 부산의 여름을 만끽하는 바다축제, 전 세계 영화인들이 모이는 부산국제영화제와 새로운 시작의 해맞이 축제까지. 부산의 축제는 우리의 열정을 가득 담고 있습니다. 바쁜 일상은
It is now 8 o'clock and this is news highlights. Major hospitals see few or no trainee doctor applicants. Applications for trainee doctors for the latter half of the year ended yesterday, with few to no doctors applying to fill the 7,645 spots. Major training hospitals, including Seoul's top 5, received applicants in the single digits. The government vowed to implement additional reform plans to fundamentally reduce hospitals' dependence on trainee doctors by expanding the roles of physician assistant nurses and have top-tier general hospitals focus on treating critically ill patients. Malaria cases in South Korea expected to exceed 500 this year. The number of malaria cases has surged in the summer, with total cases on path to surpass 500 by the end of the year. According to data released by the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency on Wednesday, a total of 387 cases of malaria were reported in the first 7 months of this year. Malaria is a serious and sometimes fatal disease resulting in high fever, shivering, and chills, as well as flu-like symptoms, and is transmitted via mosquitoes. Local health authorities advise people to not get bitten by mosquitoes and get tested if suspected symptoms manifest. Top Hamas political leader killed in Tehran as Iran vows avenge for killing. Hamas says its political chief Ismail Haniyeh was killed in an Israeli missile attack in Iran's capital, Tehran, with Hamas and Iran blaming Israel for the strike. Iran has vowed vengeance, with its supreme leader saying that avenging Haniyeh's death is Tehran's duty. The United Nations Security Council has convened an emergency meeting amid concerns of escalation. The killing comes just hours after an Israeli strike on the Lebanese capital, Beirut, which killed Hezbollah's commander Fouad Shakir. Fed freezes key rate for 8th straight time. The U.S. Federal Reserve on Wednesday local time held its benchmark lending rate steady for an 8th consecutive time. But Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the committee is moving closer to a rate cut. The Federal Open Market Committee, or FOMC, decided to keep the rate in the 5.25 to 5.50% range, a 23-year high, as it said inflation still remains elevated despite some progress. This comes as Japan's central bank raised its benchmark borrowing rate to around 0.25%, only the second raise in 17 years. South Korea wins third consecutive gold in men's saber fencing team event. The men's saber fencing team defeated Hungary 45-41, seizing their third consecutive gold medal in the event. The team comprised of Oh Sang-uk, Gu Bon-gil, Park Sang-won, and Do Kyung-dong become only the second team ever to achieve this record in the event and the only team in Asia to do so. Oh, who won the individual saber title on Saturday, became the first South Korean fencer to win 2 gold medals at a single Olympics. And this was News Highlights. It's that time. Time for Waggle Waggle. Haley's back in the studio with us.
Hello, hello.
All right. So for those of you who bought a lottery ticket last September, 지난 9월달 로또 샀으면 listen carefully.
This could be you.
Oh.
Turn down your room, look through everything. The first prize lotto winner from last September has still not claimed his or her winning. So, lotto operators say that the winner from the 1085th lotto has only about a month to claim their winnings of, get this, 1,073,000,000 won. It's 10억. over 10억. So the numbers for the wing ticket are 4, 7, 17, 18, 38, and 44. And they bought this at a location in Sasang, which I'm like, did I buy a lottery ticket last September and forgot about it? So I'm going to need to really clean my room and see. Because I did buy like one lottery ticket last year.
너무 기분이 좋아.
Right?
빨간색으로 돼 있으니까.
I'm like, 찾아가세요. Please go claim it. So, by the way, for anyone, if you don't claim your lotto winnings within 1 year, it goes to the lottery fund, which is used for many, many great things for people in need and other philanthropic purposes. But then, I mean, I'm assuming you bought the lottery ticket not to donate your every single winning. So go claim it. And an official from the lotto fund says that this does sometimes happen because people are busy. And then people forget.
They lose.
Mm-hmm. So if you forgot, remember, please, because you have a month. And
Can you imagine if you bought it and you lost it or you forgot?
Exactly.
You
what
have
if you
the worst luck
find
ever.
it in October? I mean, that money's gone. So yeah.
Well, maybe not quite as lucky as a forgotten lottery ticket or unlucky, but anyhow. But a hardworking, kind-hearted couple in Gangwon got what they deserved, but in the best way.
In the best way, because they're good people. They got the good thing that they deserve. So this is an exclusive story from Money Today. Last December in Sokcho, that's in Gangwon, a young couple, they own a cafe. They came across a stray cat. And it's December in Sokcho, so it is freezing.
Cold.
Not a great place for stray animals of any kind. But I mean, that area does have a lot of strays, and they named him 검고, which is short for 검은 고양이. And I think they say that they have a practice of just kind of naming all the cats in their area, like 회고, 회색 고양이, the black cat, the gray cat. So it's basically like John Doe and Jane Doe, but cat edition.
Okay.
And, they will sometimes feed the strays and just kind of have a passing relationship with them. But a few months later, 검고 kept getting skinny and skinnier, and they found out he was sick with a viral infection in his mouth.
Is that 검고?
Yeah, that is 검고. And he couldn't keep any food down because it hurt too much to have anything in his mouth and was basically slowly starving himself to death.
Oh my gosh.
So they rescue him. They take him to the vet, and apparently the treatment required removing some teeth. And because it's the animal hospital, no health care, 1.5 million won, 150만 원.
Yes.
And I mean, if that's your own cat, I mean, that's still a lot of money.
We've had that done to one of our cats.
Right.
That's
and
how
then,
much it costs.
And then if it's for a stray, so like, what would you do? And here's the thing. The couple have been going through a rough patch in their business.
Yes.
Making just 3.5 million won per month. So that is, 40% of their monthly earnings. And that's not even profits. It's their entire just sales. So they're basically in deficit. And now this huge veterinarian vet. So they were at that point even considering closing down the cafe because of poor business. So the husband, he made a decision. What decision was it? He got a second job. He started moonlighting at a car wash and worked the night shift for several months to make that money.
For the cat?
For the cat. For their, who was not even, really their cat.
Okay.
So he was okay. He set off to freedom again. But then a few months later, he turned up with another injury. This time, a huge gash on his leg. And that cost a couple 3 million won. So, and they were still paying off the 1.5 million from the previous surgery. But they said not even, at the drop of the hat, no hesitation, do it. Like, it's life. Life is life. Money is money. They obviously have their priorities straight.
Okay.
So they just casually put up a short post on social media sharing this story, not asking for anything, but we share things on the age of social media, the age of social media, but that went viral. And people started to put in huge orders from the country because one person said, because people are like, where are you guys located? We want to go visit you, but it's Sokcho, that's like 6 hours from Busan. But one person said, hey guys, they have online orders. So they just rushed. They rushed in 2,000 orders in the span of 5 days. And the vet also gave them a big discount after learning about this story. So now the cafe has become famous on social media. They apparently have great pastries, no advertisement. And they also made a 검고 latte. And for every sale, they share 1,000 won from each sale to help stray cats.
That's not insignificant.
That is not insignificant.
1,000 won.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and Komgo has his own space at the cafe now.
Oh, so
yeah.
they've taken him in. So
They've
that was
taken
him
him in.
stretching. Like, oh.
So
that goes to show you.
It's so good when good things happen to good people.
Oh, he looks
Yeah.
so happy.
Yeah.
I want to become go stretching on the pillow. I'm so happy we ended on a happy story. But now it's time for our 2024 Paris Olympic updates. Oh, there's no BG. Okay.
What?
Yes. Okay.
Yay,
Ba-bam.
ba-bam.
Okay. So, okay, we are discussing the whole ROK versus the DPRK debacle. You know, at the opening ceremony, they misnamed us. They read it incorrectly. But now, an Australian broadcaster put up the wrong flag for South Korea.
Right,
What is
so
going
we
on,
have-
people?
it's a theme.
Know your flags.
It is a
Yes.
theme. According to reports, and this happened over the weekend, Australia's 9 News put up the Chinese flag on the leaderboard for South Korea.
Why and how?
I don't know. Back then, South Korea was in 5th place. We're in 6th now, by the way. But had South Korea with the Chinese flag, the red with the yellow golden dots, golden stars, excuse me. Many Korean Aussies and even international students lodged complaints. So they corrected the mistake on their website, but they didn't really apologize. So there's that.
Why?
I don't know. It's a great question.
And then the Olympic organizers made another faux pas.
Right, and this also involves the Chinese flag, but not with South Korea. This was at the women's 100-meter breaststroke quarterfinals. The Argentine swimmer Macarena Ceballos was entering the arena, and when athletes do, they put up the flag of their nation and announce them. Well, on the giant screen, the Chinese flag once again, which I'm like, what similarity do these two countries have? Different
Nothing.
continents, different color scheme. They do have celestial bodies on them, but one's a sun and one's a star. The other is a star.
Completely different.
But I don't even know.
Right.
So she does a double take because, well, obviously, but she did keep smiling and waving. And by the way, there wasn't even a Chinese swimmer competing in the entire. So it's baffling.
Right. So we're not just complaining about South Korea. We're just like, get your act together.
Yeah.
So actually, athletes from the real Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, are
Right.
insisting that they be referred to as just that, right?
DPRK.
Yeah, DPRK.
Nothing else.
Yes.
So North Korea won its first medal in Paris, the silver in mixed table tennis with Lee Jong-sik and Kim Geum-yong. And oh, by the way, this is where the match where Shin Yoo-bin and Im Jong-un won the bronze.
Yes.
So the 16-member North Korean delegation, it's of course gaining a lot of attention because when do you ever see them if
Yes.
not at the Olympics?
Right.
And let alone speak to them. So they usually, of course, never respond to press questions on the photo lines, but they had to after they won the medal because there's an official press conference.
Right.
Couple odd things. Number one, so they go in the order of the medals: bronze, silver, and gold. So bronze, South Korea's Shin Yoo-bin and Im Jong-un had their usual press conference.
Right.
And then a 30-minute gap because the North Korean athletes and the delegation just didn't show. And that's pretty much unprecedented.
Right.
And then when reporters asked them questions about, did you, because they took a photo with Shin Yoo-bin and Im Jong-un on the podium, like, how did it feel? And when they were asked about the South Korean athletes, an official from the North Korean delegation was seen shaking their head.
Right.
And that was obviously kind of a sign. So they just evaded the question.
Right.
And then when the MC for the press conference called the athletes from North Korea, an official lodged a complaint and had them corrected to athletes from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Yes, yes. Well, lastly, every Olympic Games, they, have or usually a breakout star, not just because of his or her performance, because of that, that star quality,
The
right?
little oomph.
So this year, there's been a lot of attention over this person all over social media. South Korean shooter Kim Ye-ji.
Right. So the women's currently 10-meter air pistol silver medalist Kim Ye-ji has, according to Twitterians, major main character energy.
Right.
And she has been trending on social media,
So
not
much.
just in Korea, but globally.
All over the world.
So a viral video of her from not the Olympics, but the International Sharpshooting Federation's World Cup from earlier this year went viral, where she, by the way, scored 42 points for a world record, 1 gold. But in that footage, as she is just coolingly setting a world record.
Yes.
She has her cap on backwards. She keeps a calm, like a steely face. And after she shoots her perfect game, just sighs and turns around.
Right.
Right. And it's just something out of a movie.
Literally.
Right. And netizens from the world are commenting on how she looks like a movie character, including Elon Musk.
And you see it on our YouTube channel.
You do, who says, would be cool to have a shooting world champion in an action movie. And then, though, here's the thing. Off the range, off the podium, she's actually really funny and endearing. So she carries this elephant plushie or elephant stuffed animal on her back as a charm. Some people say it's from her daughter. Oh, she is, by the way, married, has a 6-year-old. But we don't know. We don't have that confirmed yet, but that's what some people say.
포스.
Exactly. Just look how cool. Just what?
She's
what?
Wannabe.
Yeah.
Girl crush.
Yeah. I called her 언니 and then found out she's younger than me. But anyways.
She's still 언니.
But she's 언니 because I mean,
She's
if you're
언니 to us.
that cool
Yeah.
looking, you're 언니.
Yes.
And she sent a message to her daughter on camera. I think mommy's famous now. And then she loved this confidence, promised the Korean people a gold medal in her main event, which is the 25-meter air pistol. So we're definitely going to be looking forward to that as well. Another breakout star in Korea. Well, not breakout because he was
Last
hot
time.
in many aspects 4 years ago.
Because he's a good fencer.
He's a good fencer. Like,
That's
hot,
why.
trending.
Yes,
That's what
hot.
I mean. Oh Sang-wook, he's been getting international attention for his looks as well.
No,
Yeah.
because he's a good fencer.
He's a good fencer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
So speaking of the men's fencing team remain as the reigning champions.
They are as
that's
hot
a good
as
photo, though.
ever.
Yes.
And I mean that once again in their ability. Once again, 오상욱, 구봉길, 박상원, and 도경동 are now the new fencing Avengers. It shows that
피디님
men's
왜 그러세요?
fencing is still strong as ever. And this is after a generational shift because
Yes.
the old fencing Avengers was like the 막내. He was the youngest,
막내.
and now he is the leader. So it's because team fencing, it requires such teamwork and collaboration. So usually teams don't survive that big generational change. They obviously did. So
Right.
kudos for them. The winner against Hungary gives them their 3rd gold medal after London and Tokyo. And is still the team's ace. This is his 2nd gold after the saber singles and the only athlete in Team Korea to get 2 gold medals in Paris.
Indeed.
Yes. So So that's
What
that.
can we look forward to for later today?
Of course. So we have men's 20-kilometer power walk finals. Choi Byung-kwang competing there. Women's handball against Sweden. Golf begins with men's singles rounds with Kim Joo-hyung and An Byung-hun. Early morning, if you're going to wake up, women's archery singles, Chun Hoon-young and Im Si-yeon in the round of 64. If you're going to wake up very, very early, a little past 4 a.m., major event, a women's boxing 54-kilogram quarterfinals with Imeji. Yes.
Lot to look forward to.
Another fun day.
Yay. Well, thank you for wa글와글 plus the Olympics. We'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
And now it's time for your updated traffic and weather waivers. It is now 19 past the hour. Here's your traffic update. It's looking a little slow on 중앙대로 from 송공 3-way intersection to Samjeon intersection. It's also backed up on 낙동남로 from Gangso Police Station to Seongsan 3-way intersection. It's also backed up on 광안대교 going towards the Daeyeon overpass. As for the weather, it's already 29 degrees Celsius under sunny skies. There is another heat wave advisory in effect. The daytime high will go up to 34 today, but the discomfort index is high as there is relatively high humidity. Sizzling heat, it is continuing across the entire country with light rain in parts of Chungnam, Chungbuk, and eastern Gangwon. Stay hydrated and avoid going outside during the hottest hours of the day. This was your traffic and weather. And this is Piano Man by Billy Joel.
It's 9 o'clock on
a Saturday. The regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La 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 li li la, la la li li la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Now John at the bar is a friend of mine. Gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke or to light up your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessmen slowly get stoned. Yes, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. A song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. It's a pretty good crowd for a Saturday, and the manager gives me a smile, 'cause he knows that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. And the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer, and they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here?
By the way, for those of you, you might have gotten an alert on your phone. Apparently around 6:40 a.m., if you're living in the city of Busan in the Kumjang area, has been a fire. You might have gotten an emergency alert on your phone, just to give you a heads up on that. So if we do get some additional details on that, in Kumjang-gu district, there has been a fire in Haedongdong. So as soon as we get details of that, we'll relay that to you. So you might have gotten that alert as that song was going out. All right, so we are in the thick of the Olympics. What Olympic sport are you most interested in or would you like to try is our text topic. So looking at your responses, it's very, very interesting to see what you are interested in. Tommy says, I play tennis with both hands. And so I guess he would like to try tennis. So that is his sport of choice. And other people, I think archery is a popular one. I've seen archery for multiple people saying they want to try their hand at archery. I think archery, especially after Lydia told us the details of how difficult it is, what a precision sport it is, I think I'm going to have to think twice about archery though, because that is definitely a difficult sport. And to get onto the team for South Korea, do you know how difficult it is and how competitive it is? I think, yes, definitely. I'm going to pass on archery. I think it's just too difficult. And one of our listeners, for example, 박경수 Waver says 도전하고 싶은 종목은 양궁입니다. So they also, 경수 Waver says they want to try their hand at archery. 김재덕 선수 손에 벌이 윙윙거리고 방해해도 흔들림 없이 한 발 한 발 쏘는 모습이 한편의 영화였어요. Oh, so they're talking about Kim Jae-deok. Do you remember last time Kim Jae-deok? He was such a cute maknae, and he was the one that kept on saying "화이팅, 화이팅," last time. And this time around, he's a little bit more mature, and he had that bee that was buzzing around, but he kept his composure. I don't know how. I would have been screaming the bejesus out of me, getting away from the bee. But he kept his composure throughout. So amazing. And that's why I am not an Olympian and he is, for real. And yeah, let's get to our special interview. Yes, this is our special interview. What if I were to tell you that the quick AI search that you entered into your phone caused a jump in energy consumption? As we know, artificial intelligence, AI, is rapidly advancing, but its growth comes with significant environmental costs. As AI technologies become more sophisticated, the energy demands of data centers are soaring, contributing to rising greenhouse gas emissions. So with new technology comes new risks. But just how high is this risk and how is it being resolved? Well, we have invited Professor Shaolei Ren, who's an associate professor of electrical and computer engineering at the University of California, Riverside. He's joining us on air to explore the impact of AI on climate change and the challenges that come with it. Let's say hi to him. Hi, Professor. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Thanks. Good to be with you.
Yes. So given the rapid expansion of AI technologies, Professor, how do you see the increasing energy demands of data centers contributing to climate change?
Well, that's a great question. So right now, the global data center energy is about 2% of the total electricity usage in the world. But in the next few years, due to the AI demand, this number is expected to increase to roughly 4%, 8%, 10%. Some estimates even show this could be reaching to 16%. And of course, it's really hard to predict exactly what's going to happen in the future. But the general message is very clear. We have to really be seriously looking at the energy consumption of AI. And we might be in a situation of deciding whether we want to turn on our AC or we want to use our AI model.
Well, it's been mentioned that AI chatbots use significantly more electricity than even traditional internet services. So can you tell us about the specific factors that lead to this high energy consumption of AI chatbots?
Sure. So when we talk about AI energy consumption, there are generally two categories of energy, which one is for training, the other one is for inference. So training is just how we come up with a model, how we get the model. And because the model is essentially learned based on a lot of data. And if you look at these large language models like ChatGPT or Llama, they essentially look at all the data that we have on the internet, the documents, the website, the mathematics, or basically everything that we can ever imagine. So this to sort of summarize the information contained in this huge amount of data, we need a huge model. The model's number of model parameters in the large language model could be hundreds of billions. For example, last week, Meta just released the newest Llama 3.1 model. The biggest one is 405 billion parameters. And that's like 5 times as large as the previous version. And this is to sort of decide this huge number of parameters, we need a huge amount of computation. And that requires a lot of energy for training. And when we train the model, basically we get the model, but still we want to, predict something new or have some conversation with the model. That requires inference. And this inference basically is doing some sort of a computation over these billions of parameters. And that's, again, a huge energy consumption. Although each inference probably consume a lot less energy than training, but we have a lot of users out that are interacting with the language model. So overall, the training energy is still pretty significant.
I see. Well, if we look at Google's sustainability report, it indicates a 48% rise in greenhouse gas emissions attributed to data center energy consumption. So how can companies kind of balance the development of advanced AI systems with the need to reduce their carbon footprint as well?
Well, I think in the short term, the answer is probably there's no way to reduce the carbon while still growing the AI computing. The reason is if you look at the overall carbon emission of those big techs, the energy consumption, that's one part. There's another huge part, which is so-called scope 3 carbon emission. And that's the carbon emission embodied in the AI hardware, in the data center construction. So these companies are having an arm race to build more data centers, to have more hardware, to have bigger models. And this part, basically this type of scope 3 carbon emission, I'm not seeing any a clear path to reduce the scope 3 emission unless those tech companies stop doing their AI computation. So the short answer in the short term is probably we just have to take the carbon emission increase as the cost.
What about in the long term, though?
In the long term, I think, of course, eventually we'll be reaching a steady point. And the investment in the scope 3 carbon emission will probably be stabilized, and the efficiency of using the model will also be improving. So that will lower the scope 2 carbon emission due to the energy consumption. So overall, we could be seeing a slower or even decreasing trend in terms of the overall carbon emission in the long term. But how long that will be, it's really highly uncertain.
Well, reports highlight the challenges in maintaining operational carbon neutrality while expanding AI capabilities. So what tech advancements or policy changes do you believe are necessary to address these challenges?
Well, just as Microsoft CEO said in an interview, a few years ago, when they set carbon neutrality or carbon zero as the goal, it was a moonshot. But now the moon has moved away. So I think at this point, probably we need to be more careful about the model size that we choose, because right now the tech companies are still following the so-called scaling law, which means they try to build bigger and bigger models. Hopefully the model become more and more powerful. But the actual performance that we gain out of this bigger size is really marginal. If you look at the Llama 3.1 models, there are 3 different sizes. The biggest one is 405 billion parameters, and smallest one is just 8 billion parameters. So the difference is 50 times, which means their energy consumption, their carbon emission, their water consumption is also more than 10 times. But the actual performance improvement is really marginal. So I think if we can somehow move from the absolute performance to a normalized performance in the sense that we look at the performance per energy, we focus on this performance per energy, then that could probably drive down the overall energy consumption.
Yes. Well, with companies like Microsoft and Google continuing to invest heavily in AI, Professor, what role do you think regulatory frameworks should play in ensuring these technologies develop in an environmentally sustainable manner?
Well, traditionally, the energies in the industry is heavily regulated, but data center industry are not. So right now, as I mentioned, we are seeing a significant increase in the data center energy, in particular driven by AI. So I think we should be starting to use some of the regulatory frameworks that were used for the energy industry to the data center industry, especially for this AI computing. So, for example, there was a bill proposed in February this year, trying to ask AI model developer to disclose the environmental impact. So I think that's a very good step as a starting point to address this potential environmental harm of AI computing.
Yes, yes. Speaking of AI and climate change, though, Professor, there have been reports that AI is able to and has predicted global weather patterns with new speed and precision, actually, within minutes, even seconds. What are your thoughts on these advancements? Because, human beings, of course, are human beings. So do you think AI is even more accurate, can predict this even better than we human beings can?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have no doubt that AI is advancing the our efforts in climate change. But the problem is that we need to be cautiously optimistic in the sense that this prediction or faster prediction of AI computing for climate change, the actual impact may not be really significant at this point, because a lot of the industries, like energy or smart grid, EV industry, they are mission critical. So, but the AI prediction could be wrong, and if you have a wrong prediction for mission critical industry, that can be leading to really dangerous situations. And so how we can make decisions for mission critical systems, given this potentially unreliable prediction, that's a really hard problem. And a lot of researchers are working on this problem, including my group, which we call learning augmented decision making. So essentially, we try to make decisions for high-stake systems, such as those power systems, given these potentially unreliable predictions.
I see. Well, thank you so much for coming on air with us and explaining kind of a difficult concept to our listeners, lay people today. We do appreciate it. Thank you, Professor.
Thanks for having me.
This was Professor Shaolei Ren. We talked about AI and its impact on climate change and, of course, how it does ultimately affect us at large. We're going to take a short song break. So here it is. This is 사랑인가 봐 by Mellow Monks.
하고 싶은 일들을 상상하는 게 요즘 내 일상이 되고 너의 즐거워하는 모습을 보고 있으면 자연스레 따라 웃고 있는 걸 너의 행동에 설레어 하고 뒤척이다가 지새운 밤이 많아지는데 이건 누가 봐도 사랑일 텐데 종일 함께면 질릴 텐데 나 돌아서도 온통 너인 걸
Get your local up-to-date news from Korea and abroad right here on Morning Wave in Busan with Catherine. Stay tuned.
It is time for City Insights, and we have Stephanie stepping in for Haeyeon while she's on vacay. Hey,
Hello,
welcome
hello.
back. How are
Good
you?
morning. I'm doing well. It's so hot outside.
It is hot and humid.
I'm
I can
sweating.
stand the hot.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's mixed in with the humidity.
It feels like I'm swimming.
Because
it's
you
so
swam
humid.
to BFM.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's great to see you. We missed
Long
you.
time no see. I like this studio.
Really?
Love it. Yes.
You like the curtains?
Yeah.
You like the gray on camera?
No, I don't. But I'm not complaining.
Really? not on camera.
No, not on camera.
Yeah, off camera. All right. So, before we get into City Insights, real quick, we've been talking about the Olympics.
Okay.
So, if you could choose one sport that you don't have to be good at it, but like if you could choose a sport that you could compete in at the Olympics, what would it be?
Okay.
This is just fantasy land.
Okay, we're just dreaming.
We're just
right?
dreaming. It doesn't mean you have to be good
Yeah.
at it. But
So
if
I'm
you
not
could be
good at
it-
this
okay.
at all.
But
I would love to skateboard.
Ooh, nice.
I would love to compete in the skateboarding competition.
Like the
And do all
12-year-olds?
the, no!
No, the youngest one is like 12.
But you don't have to be 12. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm like double that. But
Yes.
I would love to.
Skateboard?
Yeah. I
That's
can
a
just
cool
like
one.
barely stand now, but
It's
one
really
day-
difficult.
It is. With the tricks, and I would love to.
Shortboard or
cool.
longboard?
Good question.
You haven't thought about that,
Yeah,
right?
I haven't. Well, I have a penny board. But so
nice.
maybe shortboard.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into City Insights. What do we have for our first one?
All right, so Busan City announced this year a 5-year comprehensive plan to become one of the top 10 entrepreneurial cities in Asia, focusing on nurturing tech startups. Encouraging entrepreneurship with developed technologies not only revitalizes the local economy, but also helps with demographic issues such as attracting young people to our city. So our first insight comes from Ms. Kim Min-ji from the Southeast Council of the Korea Startup Forum.
Right. So this Korea Startup Forum, what does this organization do?
So this is an organization that has the mission of helping startups grow and innovate the world. It engages in various activities such as regulatory innovation to improve the business environment for startups. Also policy development and supporting growth and enhancing capabilities through solidarity among entrepreneurs, expanding globally and enhancing societal recognition. They are actually initially launched to support the continuous growth and development of the startup ecosystem and to represent their collective interests. And since startups are small businesses, they often face challenges in areas like talent, capital, and regulations that are difficult to handle alone. However, by joining forces, they can find solutions. So they focus on sharing ideas and fostering mutual growth, striving to create a society where the innovations and challenges of startups and entrepreneurs are respected and encouraged. Now, currently, the Southeast Council of the Korea Startup Forum includes about 370 member companies.
Oh, really? So I remember the Korea Startup Forum hosted the Slushed 2024 last month here in our city. So maybe you can tell our listeners about this event.
Of course. So Busan Slushed is a spin-off event of Finland's famous startup event called Slush.
Yes.
Brought to Korea by the Korea Startup Forum. And they select 5 to 6 cities globally each semester to activate the local startup ecosystems. And the organization successfully secured its hosting in Busan. This year's focus was on facilitating global expansion for startups in the Busan, Ulsan, and Gyeongnam area and spreading that startup culture among students and entrepreneurs. And it showcased the potential of local startups to international investors and Slush officials, emphasizing the need for more proactive global engagement. MOUs were also signed with venture companies from Finland, Malaysia, and Indonesia to foster mutual exchanges. The theme for this year's Busan Slush was this: activating the local entrepreneurial ecosystem and global expansion through solving urban problems.
So it's aimed to kind of solve city issues while energizing the startup ecosystem. So what solutions were brought up?
Right. So in the clip we'll hear in a moment, I asked Ms. Kim Min-ji this very question. So let's take a listen.
주택도시보전공사가 예산을 지원하는 신중년 트레킹 가이드 사업은 부산의 갈매길, 원도심 등 자연과 문화자산을 활용해 일자리를 창출하는 사업입니다. 사회적 기업인 주식회사 부산의 아름다운 길을 통해 양성된 가이드들이 7월부터 부산 시민과 관광객을 대상으로 갈매길 트레킹 프로그램을 운영하고 있는데요.
네.
특히 9월과 10월에는 청각장애인과 보호자가 참가하는 무장애 트레킹, 즉 베리어 프리 트레킹을 추진할 예정입니다. 전문 가이드 9명은 월 78만 원의 급여를 받고 있고 일회성 사회공헌 일자리에도 86명이 참여하고 있는데요. 지속 가능한 일자리 창출을 위해서 사업 참가 종료 후에는 부산시 장노년 일자리 지원센터를 통해서 취업 지원과 사회적 기업 설립 등을 지원할 예정입니다.
All right, so we just listened to, actually, Mr. Bae Byung-chul. He was sharing about new middle-age trekking guide service, but we're going to listen to Ms. Kim Min-ji once again.
Yes.
자동화 로봇으로 바다에 떠다니는 해양 쓰레기를 제거하는 BPO 그리고 해운 물류의 탄소 배출을 조절하는 솔루션을 가진 기업인 마리나체인 등 불경의 해양 환경 문제들을 해결하겠다는 다양한 아이디어들이 제시되어 유의미한 시간이었습니다.
네.
해조류를 활용해 플라스틱을 대체할 수 있는 컵이나 접시 등을 개발하고 있는 마린 이노베이션 등 환경을 지키고 우리 사회가 지속 가능하도록 돕는 기업들이 큰 호응을 얻었고요. 또 요즘 같은 현대 시대에는 도시화와 인구 밀집으로 층간소음이라든지 공사소음 등 여러 소음 공해를 겪게 되는 경우가 많은데요. 얇은 천으로 소음을 효과적으로 차단하는 앞전 소자와 생활 속 에너지 절감 및 재생 발전을 돕는 에너지 하베스팅 기술을 결합한 포뮬러를 개발해 이와 같은 문제를 해결하겠다고 나선 학생 출신 창업팀도 우수한 성적을 받았습니다. 이 팀뿐만 아니라 이제 막 시작하는 팀들에게 좋은 아이디어들이 많이 나와서 우리 스타트업 씬의 미래가 밝다고 느꼈어요.
And that was Ms. Kim Min-ji from the Southeast Council of the Korea Startup Forum. Now, she said there were proposals to address marine environmental issues in the Busan, Ulsan, and Gyeongnam area, such as using automated robots to remove marine debris and solutions for controlling carbon emissions in maritime logistics. Another idea was from Marine Innovation, which developed alternatives to plastic cups and dishes using seaweed, gaining significant attention for contributing to environmental protection and promoting sustainability in society. Also, modern urbanization and population density often lead to noise pollution from things like interfloor and construction noise. And for that, a student-founded startup team developed a formula combining piezoelectricity, which effectively block noise with thin fabrics, and with that, with energy harvesting technology to reduce and regenerate energy in everyday life. This team, along with other emerging teams, showcased promising ideas that brighten the future of our startup scene.
So these are some, really incredible proposals, and it's clear that innovation is thriving in our region. So I definitely hope that this will brighten the future of our startup scene. So we're going to dive into our second insight now.
Okay. So the city of Busan has launched a welfare brand called 안녕한 Busan, and their website to actively communicate various welfare policies with its citizens. And our second insight comes from Mr. Bae Byung-chul, director of the Busan City Social Welfare Bureau.
Right. So tell us about this welfare brand, 안녕한 Busan. What's its main initiatives?
So on July 1st, very recent, the Busan City Social Welfare Bureau launched and began operating Busan's welfare brand website, 안녕한 Busan. And the city aims to create an environment where all all citizens can live happily and healthily, right, without any welfare blind spots. Recently, the Bureau announced plans to promote the new middle-aged ESG job creation project. And this is based on the concept that we know, ESG, environmental, social, and governance. And this initiative is aligned with the recent trend of businesses adopting environmentally and socially friendly management policies. By collaborating with corporations, public institutions, and others, the project aims to create eco-friendly jobs for the new middle-aged demographic, contributing to the revitalization of the local economy. The project includes 3 new initiatives: new middle-aged walking delivery service, new middle-aged tracking guide service, and new middle-aged fair travel instructor training.
Yes. So new middle-aged trekking guide service, it does sound very interesting. And I know we heard the clip, but maybe you can translate it in English for our listeners.
Of course. So in the clip that we just heard, Mr. Bae Byung-chul shares about the trekking guide service. It's funded by the Housing and Urban Guarantee Corporation. It creates jobs by utilizing natural and cultural assets like Busan's Galmaekgil trails and historical areas. Guides are trained by the social enterprise Busan's Beautiful Path. They have been running trekking programs for citizens and tourists since July. Also, special barrier-free trekking programs for the people with hearing impairment and their caregivers are planned for September and October. 9 professionals, the guides actually earn 780,000 won per month, and 86 participants engage in one-time social contribution jobs. And after that, the Busan Senior Job Support Center will help the employment and also social enterprise establishment as well.
Yes. So I'm curious, how many new middle-aged individuals might benefit from this project?
Right. So the new middle-aged ESG job creation project plans to benefit 307 middle-aged or new middle-aged individuals this year. If the project proves successful, it is anticipated that more companies and institutions will participate, leading to the creation of additional jobs for the new middle-aged population.
Well, thank you so much for sharing not just this insight, but both insights with our listeners today, and also for stepping in for a hand. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Bye-bye.
All right. This was City Insights, and of course, lovely Stephanie here in the studio with us as well. It's time to wrap up our program today. And yes, it's going to be another hot, scorching day, so you know what to do. Make sure you stay hydrated and stay healthy, everybody. So yes, join us again tomorrow. It is Friday, so definitely a good thing. Final song, this is Bad by Christopher. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
I don't want to be another him that is sober. Finally, you found yourself a friend. Then you run him over. Ever since the start, I saw the end around the corner, 'cause I know you so well. So predictable, you're an animal. I can't let you go. You're so good at being bad, you know. So predictable, you're an animal. I can't let you go. You're so good at being bad. Gonna leave your side, and I can't deny it. Tried to play it cool, but I can hide my true desire, 'cause I can see the dirty in your eyes. My favorite liar, and I know you so well. So predictable, you're an animal. I can't let you go. You're so good at being bad, you know. So predictable, you're an animal. I can't let you go. You're so good at being bad.
waiting to attack. You are on your worst behavior, I want it just like that. I can see the way you look at me, waiting to attack. You are on your worst behavior, I want it just like that.